I mean, when I'm late, I'm a little embarrassed. Anyway,
I
We're
am
live.
I am
Don't say
usually
anything.
I am usually early. You are
Yes.
usually late. This
I'm
is
not
true.
usually late.
All right. Well,
okay. This is going off the rails already. So let's talk about trades. What do you guys got on the docket for today?
MRK.
that's the
Right.
only
That's
Yeah.
obviously the biggest thing that's out today. I mean, it's already popped highs of 82. $80 seems to be the support. Well, $80.22, but $80 with a psychological number. So I plan on having an alert and a buy order out around $80.25. Stop loss right below. Especially if options come in, I do plan on taking it to the long side, especially with it being Lotto Friday. This could get crazy.
Lotto Friday.
Yeah.
And AMD as well is another one that I'm watching. Highs yesterday, I believe, were about 104.50. So if it takes that out, I will be grabbing a few lottos there. And if it gets to about 100, I'm loading up for a swing. Stop loss right below.
This is the day where I'm going to use Merck as my indicator for everything, right? Like I would love to buy. What?
This is funny. I'm going to use Merck as an indicator for everything.
Well, yeah, I would love.
It just sounded funny. I know what you're doing. I agree with you.
All right, I would love I know they've all rallied in the pre-market, but you look at reopening stocks here, cruise lines, hotels. I can nibble a little bit here, but then if Merck turns, then they're all going to turn too. So that's my. But I would yes, I know we've already rallied here. We're up $1 on CCL on the pre-market. RCL is up $1 as well, but there's more room there, right? I think there's more juice to be had, to be squeezed. So I would absolutely take a flyer on like all the reopening stocks.
I mean, you already have like Moderna already kind of having a tough time, right? It's already down.
But that's not here. Yeah, it's not reopening.
No. I'm saying the opposite because you know what I mean. Like the opposite trade. Like if you want to go to the short side, Moderna could be one because we all know that when something starts bleeding, it can bleed, right? Especially because folks. I mean, look at that. Right as I say that, it dropped $4. But anyway, that's what I'm going to expect to play to the short side here as well. If it kind of gets to certain levels, 350, break down that. Good God.
All right, yeah. It's 9:06. Let's play our beautiful intro, and then get the show on the road here.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas law, that phrase.
Kiana.
Fisher.
Joy.
Joe. Cards drawn are the past, ones to come are future.
And the best part? It's beatable.
All right. Good morning, everybody. How we doing? Happy Friday. Go ahead and hit that like button for us. We'd appreciate that. Zunaid gave his ideas. I gave my ideas. Ryan, what are you thinking this morning?
Well, a couple of things. I'd like to get both of your opinions on the overnight session in the SPY. I mean, it looked like last night we were going to roll over. We're already at down 5% from the highs. I thought this might kick off the next 5% down move to take us to 10%. And when I woke up today, we had a huge red to green move in the overnight session. So,
hey, Ryan, real fast, can you just share your pro screen so we can see?
Oh, geez. Yeah, I actually sorry. I actually had a different stock up here, but let me go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, regardless, right, I totally am with you. I have a bet with Joel that we'll see. My bet is that we'll see at least one more new all-time high this year in the SPY and the S&P. And this morning I was starting to sweat a little bit because we were at Monday. We were at Monday's low. Let's go back to last Monday, right? We were at, let me go to a daily here. We were at Monday's low in the SPY this morning. We actually broke it. And then Merck changed everything. So
yeah, I mean, so to me here again, like look, the 428 level on the SPY, so that's about 4280 on the S&P cash. If we break down beneath that, I think we can eventually see 3980.
Sure.
Now, I don't know if we're going to have that today. And Spencer, like you were saying, I mean, one of the calls from our happy hour show was a crazy SPY to 500 call by the end of the year. I don't think we're going to see that now, obviously. But I wouldn't be shocked if we actually bounce from here. Like, it really feels like we need to go down. And when that's the case, it often doesn't happen.
Someone said 500.
Yeah, it was Joe. Joe made a case
Joe?
for 5 to 500 based on the chart.
Oh yeah,
And,
he said that before. He said that before. Yeah,
but you know what, Spencer? It was great because all of us had the same reaction. We're like 500, and then things kept happening where it's like, oh my gosh, this might happen. Looks like it's out of the cards now. So, just to answer your question on an actual stock, let me go ahead. I have a chart that I absolutely love. I've talked about this stock before. I've traded this stock before. This is INOD. This is a data company. Their biggest client is Facebook. I think this stock at some point next year is going to be in the 20s, and I absolutely love this chart. This is a well-defined uptrend. It looks like as soon as we clear out this area between 950 and 1007, we could actually break out here on your daily chart. So I really like this chart. If this thing gets any type of volume, this thing could be wild. So we'll see what happens. This is something that I'm watching. I'm actually long calls currently. I like Zunaid's idea about playing Merck for some Yolos here on Expiry Friday. So that's kind of what I'm looking at so far. And real quick, yeah. Administrative note. Shelly Serrano says, I saw a cat. Shelly, you did see a cat, and if you stick around and you hit that like and subscribe button, there's a good chance that you're going to see that cat come back.
Wait,
there you go. That's one way to get him.
Where?
By the way, Spencer hates you, therefore he took your video out.
Wait, no, I didn't do that. I was like, no, I didn't. I was like, well,
he said Mitch is here, so let me just go ahead and have Mitch instead.
Pretty much. Yeah, can't blame him.
Right. Just turn your camera back on, and then I'll bring you back. We'll bring you back on here. There we go.
Help out here, jeez.
That was not me.
I'm trying to help out, and you guys are all up here just throwing daggers. So
the one thing is like,
whoa, Spencer, can I get back in, please?
No, you're not allowed.
All right. Okay. All right. Enough. Look, so I'm on the SPY here, and I'm going back to last November, right? That giant green candle that on the SPY, right where my mouse is, that was the Pfizer vaccine, right there, right? So, and like obviously the news today is not quite to the same degree because we already have a vaccine, but I what I don't want is to look back 6 months from now and say, oh, we underestimated the importance of this Merck drug this morning, because I really do think it is a game changer. And so I'm like, I think the 500 SPY call is a little high, but at the same time, I'm like mentally preparing myself for that, for more upside, because that the vaccine kickstarted the first half of the year was straight up, basically. Second half of the year, not so much, right? I thought maybe this morning before the Merck new headline, like, oh, there's a chance that we end up closing, down for the second half of the year. Now I'm not so sure, right? Because this Merck thing is huge.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to take the other side of that. I have no problem being totally wrong. We might close red today. So I'm just I don't necessarily know how serious this is going to be. So let's wait and see.
I don't know.
Red City.
I don't know. I mean,
hey, look, if I say it now and I'm wrong, then I get to come back on Monday and be like, see, I helped all of you out. Come on, you guys got to know the game. You got to play the game right here.
All I got to say is green, baby. Green, we're going green, baby.
We are green. We're not going green. We are green. I mean,
another stock that's popular for the folks is PALT, right? PALT. Excuse me. That's been kind of like a high mover all the way from $5 all the way to 15. If you pull up my chart, this is what I've got on it right here. So I'm looking for hopefully a breakout, or if it comes down around $10, it might be good for a quick little scalp.
What is this? What is Pal Talk?
No idea. No idea what they can do. No idea what they plan to do in life. I just know it's a stock that was going crazy. It was called out on Squawk a few days ago. I had a chance to kind of play the chart off the $10 level. I believe it was yesterday. And so just kind of looking at it, that could be a mover there. And then let's see. CEI has obviously been another one. That's the hourly right there. That's been another great one. Very popular in the FinTwit world. So that might be something else. If it gets to around $3, it might be worth for a bounce. around this area right here for me.
That's a
So
short.
those are the shorter.
CEI, man. Come on, you're a little.
Are you
late to the
taking
party,
it or are you
dude.
just saying it? I'm not saying. Look, you have to
Late to the
understand. This isn't
party,
something
bro.
I'm telling my grandma to invest her 401k in. This is for a trade, right? This is for, hey, I go ahead and get a 20-cent scalp out of it. I'm good making $500 or whatever it is. But
Hey.
if you're going to short it, tell me where you're shorting it.
Well, I would short it right when it breaks 350 and hold to 375. I think that has a topping pattern at $4. I don't think it ever touches 4 for the next month or so. But the reason why also is
it went to 485. You're saying it doesn't
it's
even
not going
do
to
it
go
again?
back. It doesn't go through that mark again, $4. But my thing with this one is
you better
that
hope someone doesn't catch you on Twitter because they're about to clip this.
Hey, clip it, bro, clip it.
Oh,
I don't even know what that
I
means.
love it.
Clip it.
You know what clip it means?
Hey, clip it. Man.
Like clip like the
Play the clip.
Yeah.
And then
Put me on it.
Play it over
Put me on it, man.
Yeah. Like make
Reason
a fool
why
out of them.
is the eyes are somewhere else today. One of the things that's going to happen today is you guys are going to see some monster movers come out of this news. Really, the reason why is this gives this upside capitulation. And with that being said, whenever I see a market like we had where it was being driven down, all we need is a catalyst to get us back up in the up direction. Everyone was starting to think negatively yesterday going into the close. You know, we had that really, really bad look as we started breaking through the lows. And what happens this morning? We get good positive news. That's all we needed. Reversals come back on. I'm going to be looking for different sectors and industries. Definitely technology can come back roaring. I mean, look, if you look at technology, how it's been coming down as of late, you guys are going to see I'll be seeing some of those names getting strong. I know some people were already taking the dip in a lot of those yesterday. You could take a look at, let's say, like AMD. Look how this bottoming action near that 100 happened. I think you start seeing this come right back towards 105. NVIDIA is one you can definitely take a look at. Also, I like that bottoming action off the 205. Could come back up towards the 220s. And for that being mentioned, I'm going to also just call out different industries, right? So the cruise line, CCL is on my radar today. That's going to be looking like it wants to pop. I mean, if this is true, what the news is, I think that's it. That the cruise lines are going to launch off. If there's anyone that I think can get stronger first, it's the cruise lines. But I also have airlines on my radar today too. UAL is one that I'm going to be looking for. Look at this pattern. I like the setup. Nice bottoming action. Had a bearish pattern. And now if it breaks above that 49, I could see this turning into a bullish pattern, just starting to come up, trying to get to the highs. So I'd be like putting out 55s on UAL by the end of the year. BTCM, let's go to some Bitcoin plays. This one's a good looking chart coming back up. I see maybe a play towards 950s and 10 today. BTBT is going to be on play today. Definitely. It's making up that gap. It just made up that gap. So you got to be a little bit careful with that 790. You want to see some strong volume on BTBT, but that's definitely on the radar. DKNG, gambling stocks on the radar today. You got GAN off the bottom low. We'll see if that one moves on up. Penn is one that I'm looking for a leg up to 75. We could take a look at some solar names today. SPWR, Spencer brought it up in pre-market. This one's starting to push on up. I do like this solar name. I was actually thinking about buying this yesterday at 22.50. It's already up there, so I'll look for a pullback. But you can look at some other names that get strong. Run is one I like to get strong today. That's going to be a solar play, but take a look at the sectors when we get the open. Industrials are going to come into play. We had a hard day yesterday. We'll look for these to come back. I'm going to see if they start turning green. You see all the reds here. Let's see if those start flipping green. This is one of those days where you got to have a big watch list and know exactly what you're looking for, because the scanners are going to move so fast that if you don't know what you're looking for, you're going to get caught probably with that deer in the headlights kind of look. Everything green. Where do I go buying? That's what I'm going to be looking for at the open.
That's a really great point. Today is a day where you're going to have to move quickly.
And I think the close is also going to be very, very important today. One more thing. I just want to shout out Paul from our chat here, Paul Ader. It's like you have a mind meld going with me. You're literally typing out what I'm thinking. He was in reference to CEI. He's saying when it's a social media stock, doesn't matter at all what they do, what their financials are, etc. You're absolutely right. Those stocks can be whatever they want. And one of the things that we're saying here is you should, just be careful. And if you are going to trade it, use some of those technicals because it is going to kind of go by that. He also then goes on to say you probably can't even get a locate to short CEI. I'm willing to bet that's the case. I wouldn't short it either. And then he also goes on to say, I'm trying to find the comment here. The market isn't going down because of COVID, guys. So not sure this Merck news matters to anything but a few reopening stocks. 100% agree with you. Totally with you on that. So we'll see how this all shakes out. I'm entering today a little skeptical. I love the lights that Mitch turned on. I will say, that's really sweet. Mitch, you and I need to talk because I need to set something like that up in my office. That's really cool.
It's fun, man. It's fun. You gotta have the lights. But Spencer, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I was just going to say, we can debate about why the market was going down. I think we can all agree it was a variety of factors, of which COVID was one, but you've got inflation, you've got supply chain problems, you've got China. So there's a bunch of stuff going on. The Merck pill that doesn't even have FDA emergency use approval yet is not a miracle cure for anything. But I do think it is really, really important, and will probably strongly change people's behavior. People who are still afraid of COVID, I think this could have a serious positive effect on their behavior and going out and spending money and traveling and all that. So, but you're right. There's more at play here. The inflation is still an issue. The supply chain problem is still an issue. I think this gets us one step closer to those not being an issue anymore. At least that's my hope. So it's 9:20 real fast. I just because I can't stay for the whole day today, the whole show. I have to hop right around the open. So before I go though, I just want to do a quick Mitch talked about this, but just a crypto update as I bring up a heat nap here because guys, it's just
huge pop.
Huge green everywhere. Take a look at this. Just green everywhere. Right? You love to see it. Bitcoin up 8%, almost 9%. Ethereum up 7%. Cardano 6%. Binance Coin almost 10%. XRP, Solana. Litecoin. It's all trading higher. And here's a chart. I think the chart speaks for itself. This is a 15-minute chart. Let's go to a daily on Bitcoin. What a move. Next stop for me would obviously be those series of highs, right? What's that, 48,000, below 48,000 range, high somewhere in the 48,000 range for Bitcoin. We're knocking on the door. And the next stop from there is 50, right? Just because it's a nice round number. I just look at Bitcoin and Ethereum. Those are my sort of the two that I keep tabs on because they are the two largest. Ethereum kind of in no man's land right now. But yeah, just a great day. Just a great day for Bitcoin. I guess chat was enlightening me. I didn't even realize that October was just a great month for Bitcoin, for cryptos in general. So maybe that's why. Maybe it's because Jerome Powell said, they're not going to ban crypto in the U.S. Not that I think anyone thought they were. But if you did, don't think that because it's not going to happen. So for whatever reason, great day for Bitcoin. I love it. You love to see it. And as a reminder, everyone, you can get $50 in Bitcoin for free. All you have to do is download the Voyager app, open it up, fund your account with $100, make a trade, and use the code ZING that's on the screen right now, ZING, and you will get $50 in Bitcoin for free. All that being said, let's go back to the stonks as we head into the open. 8 minutes to go.
Jason, just to answer your question real quick, what platform do you guys use for buying crypto? I use Coinbase exclusively. In fact, I really only use Coinbase, and the fact that I only use Coinbase is the reason I didn't buy Dogecoin.
I use Coinbase, and that is not an endorsement. It's literally just I decided one day super spontaneously to buy Bitcoin, and it was the first thing I thought of. Anyway, I didn't do it.
I love Coinbase.
I didn't do any research.
The app. I love the experience.
I did zero research. I was like, I'm going to buy it right now. So I'm just going to download Coinbase and do it. So if I could do it over again, I don't know if I would use Coinbase, but it's what I use.
Interesting.
So,
I think Chris got his $50 from
Hey!
Voyager, so maybe Maybe that's the move there.
Yeah, nice job, Chris. Are you guys long coin? Tom, absolutely not. I'm not long COIN.
I've been stopped out once, so I can say that at least.
Not.
Yeah, Tom, that's actually a really good question. I really want to be long coin. I'm not right now, though.
Don't do it.
What?
Don't do it.
Why? No, okay, it's time. New conviction trade. Spencer is so against this. I know this is going to work. So
wait.
okay.
Actually,
That just made me convicted.
Yeah, I'm convicted.
Okay, maybe I should have asked. Is this like a technical thing? Is this
No.
like no?
No, I think Coinbase is awesome. I think that you're completely off base with Coinbase.
Okay, so it's a fundamental thing.
To be punny. No, I think Coinbase is great. I really think this is going to be higher. I like I said, I like the experience. I like the app. I like what they're doing. I like how they work with regulators to try and break barriers down. I definitely see this higher in a few years for sure. I'm a Bitcoin bull though, so let's keep that in mind. I mean, I think that 100K for Bitcoin is not out of the question at all. I look for this to be higher. I look for us to take the all-time high, hopefully this year. So I'm definitely bullish on Bitcoin. Just understand that with what I'm saying here.
All right, guys, we got about 6 minutes towards the bell. This is when you want to really have that watch list dialed down. I will repeat, this is one of those days that it's going to be really fast moving towards the open. If you're not ready, you could get caught with that deer in headlights look. So just be ready. Know what you're trying to trade. If you do get something to pop up on your scanners, of course, you can take a look. But these are days where I want to try to almost have planned attacks at the open already, because that's going to help you when the movement gets faster.
Okay, so real fast, and I mentioned this at the end of pre-market prep, and I'll say it again. We are going to be joined today by a special guest, Simba Stocks. Brett's going to be joining us in around a half hour or so at 10 o'clock, going through his trades, awesome. what he's done today, what he's looking to do today. And I'm going to hop off right before the open because I have a meeting, and then I got to prepare. Today is our quarterly all-hands meeting at Benzinga, so this is going to be our last our last show of the day until at the close show, until Joel and I will be back at 3:30. But from 11 or 10 from 10:30 to 3:30 today, we're going to be occupado. So.
These are fun days, though. I love the quarterlies, man.
Yeah,
I'm super excited.
All right, guys, we got over 540 people watching, only 90 likes right now. We've already given our watch list for the day, what we're looking at. You guys do us a favor, hit that thumbs up before we get to the market. I know once the market opens, you guys aren't going to want to be going over towards that like button. So go ahead, knock it out, get it out of the way. Support us as we support you guys.
Do it now. Okay. I'm done. Born to be free.
Was that an Arnold impression?
Yes. Do you want bullets on your pizza?
That's not bad. That's not. I've heard worse than that. That's not bad.
Pepperoni.
Okay. All right. That's enough.
Spencer's had enough.
That's my dude right there.
Wait, real fast. One of the reasons why I'm very excited about that Merck thing this morning is it's being backed up by the analysts. If you look at what the analysts have started doing today, there are a lot of ratings and price target increases on reopening stocks. Just because you're having to adjust, right? JP Morgan's out positive on the airlines. Not all of them, but a lot of them. I'm seeing who else catching an upgrade, or it's not even just upgrades. It's just price target increases for like across the board for a lot of reopening, some retail. The analysts are coming out and saying, yeah, we think this is notable news. So I'm watching that. And just on the downgrade front, did anything jump out to me here today? Not really. Interestingly, the one airline they called it downgrade was JP Morgan, was Spirit Airlines downgraded JP Morgan just to neutral. But nothing.
Better question. Who out there is loco enough to upgrade Spirit Airlines? That's what I want to know. I would constantly downgrade Spirit Airlines for the rest of my life.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was looking to book a flight to Dallas for like maybe next week or so, and Spirit Airlines was like $60 and Delta was like $200. I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and pay that $200.
Oh, really? I'm way too cheap. I'm way too cheap. I'm way too cheap for that.
You know what they say: if you fly Spirit, you'll become one. So
I
That's a little more.
am the ideal customer because like I'm willing to suffer for a couple hours to save.
because here's the thing: you buy the thing for $80, then you got to pay for bags to even have a carry on, all that. By the time you do all that, you're looking at about 120, 130 anyway. So it's like, cool, I'll pay the $70 difference.
The biggest trick is the people that pay for their seats. Like
Those
the
people,
$15 extra.
those people are schmucks.
Oh yeah.
Those people are schmucks.
Wow.
Don't ever pay to reserve your seat. You'll get the seat you want. Don't even.
Yeah, dude.
Don't worry about
it. If you're that worried about a seat, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. It's 9:29. We're gonna open
Let's
here.
knock this out. Let's do
We're
this.
gonna open here in less than a minute, and I'm gonna hop. Everyone have a great rest of your day. Ryan, Zunaid, Mitch. I'll see you guys in like an hour and a half.
Take care, Spence.
And stay green. Let's make some money.
Let's do
We
it.
gotta.
All right, guys. So towards the open right now, I'm seeing certain stocks do like what CCL is doing, where it's already pushing. Those are the ones that I'll look for red to green moves. I won't necessarily want to just jump in them here because they're already extended, right? In the last like 5 minutes, it's already gone 4%. That doesn't make sense for me to go ahead and jump in at the bell. I'll look for a red to green pullback about 2% down or 50% of the retrace of the beginning of the move, and then we'll see if it keeps moving. Now, stocks that are down right now, going right into the open, those are the ones that I'll look for an immediate pop going into that 9:30. Anything sticking out for you guys? Let me know.
I'm going to flip
Jetblue
over to
with
the
the bell's
scanners here
over.
on Benzinga Pro and just kind of take a look and see what we see.
I like this ELYS here.
ELYS, huh?
Yeah, this is a stock that had about 60 million shares traded on the pop to 670. It's been going sideways, came back towards the 200-day moving average, could hold the 200-day moving average today, and I would want to see at least 2 million shares traded. So I want to see some big volume come in here towards the open on the 1 minute. It's only been 6,000 shares. That's not enough to get me at least even into this one. Let's keep looking. CCL kind of pushed up what I expected there. DKNG, not a bad move right out the gates. Push up there to 48.90s. Let's see what the SPY is doing at the gates. This is what I want to pay attention to more.
Yeah.
So you can see the 1 minute, it's set up for a kind of a flag breakout. But let's take a look if there's a deeper time frame kind of pattern here. So the 15 doesn't have that same pattern look. So I think that's kind of more of a 1 minute trap right now for the rip. So we'll see if it
I'm
kind
gonna YOLO real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and YOLO 83
Go for
calls on MRK for this week.
MRK. Let's take a look
Yep.
here.
Just got
Look.
filled 150.
Boom.
Again, complete YOLO. This will either work out or it won't. I know we've got a short show today, so I wanted to at least get something out there.
Got you, man. What's your downside look?
Well, so right, I mean, obviously it's a YOLO, so I expect to lose 100% of it, if you will. Looks like, by the way, AMD has hit 102. So if you want to go short, you can go short below that.
AMD with a quick dip.
Yep. So let's see what happens with this one. Again, breakout over. I mean, it's already above pre-market highs, right? So it broke that $82 level that we told folks in the beginning of the show. Now it's a matter of pushing all the way through. Let's see if it's able to do that. But again, about 150 was my fill. Yep. So
all right.
Let's see what happens.
Let me know if you guys need me to put up your charts. I'm going to be trying to focus in a little bit here. You guys will see me sliding through some charts. I'm sliding through my watch list just to let you guys know. So if you guys see me sliding through charts, that's what I'm sliding through right now. So the cruise lines really pushed on up. I definitely saw that. I'm looking for pullbacks in those. JBLU looks good also. Fubo giving me a little bit alert right there. I like Fubo. There you go. That's what I wanted to see. That looks like a strong stock for me. I'm looking for Fubo pullback to VWAP, which would be 24.13, but it already touched there once, so it might not get there again. We'll see if it gets back towards 24.25. I like this look. Fubo, nice little push up. We'll see if it gets back to VWAP right here.
There's options going by on Merck. So you might have caught something here, Zunaid.
Yeah, they're out to next week, though, is my only concern. They're grabbing like the 79s and they grab like the 80 something for next week. That's the only thing I'm a little hesitant with. But again, which is exactly why it's a YOLO. So feel free to trade with your own risk reward in mind.
There's your push higher.
And there we go. Boom, 150 was. So now we're in the 180s, right? So you're already up about, what is that, 30 cents or so. If you have a small account, put in a limit order. That way you can go ahead and get your fill and get on up out of there. Don't risk more than you can afford to lose. But out of that breakout of 82, you've already gotten $2. So that's why you got to put in your levels. You got to know exactly what the trade is. Those YOLOs are now $2 at the bid. So you can easily go ahead and get yourself a 25% gain within the first 3 minutes.
All right, let's take a look here at the SPY. SPY starting to swing down. Looks like Ryan at least calling it for right now. Let's see what happens with the SPY right now. It went right up, right back down. So this is what we're looking for. Let's look for some 5 minutes or 15 minutes support to hold here. 15 minutes is down towards 429.14. And the 5 minutes a little bit closer. You could call a support here at 430.12. That's what we'll see if we get a stop there and then right back up through that 43.50. Let's take a look at the Qs. The Qs were the ones that I was really interested to see if we were going to get a quick spike during the open here. And actually we're ticking a little bit on the downside. So we want to see that flip green through 360. 360 so important for the Qs. That's what I'm looking for in that price point. There's a lot of support right here that is from the prior support now creating resistance for us. So we need it to flip. We'll see what happens in the Qs.
Yeah, we're about 5 minutes in. I also want to take a look at what the 15-minute move will be on tickers such as MRK, AMD, and all of that.
I'm going to call out some reopening trades here. Booking, Marriott moving up, CrowdStrike having a decent day today, ATVI having a decent day, and then let me take a look if there's anything really standing out to me on the SPY. NCLH, of course. Expedia doing well today. EXPE. UAL, United Airlines. That's one that I wanted. Let's see if I'm able to get a pullback to the VWAP, which would be 49.50. Talked about that one before the open. It's already made about a 3% move from the open, 2.8. We'll see what happens with that one. LUV, DAL. Looks like the airlines are really reacting well. Even Royal Caribbean. So definitely reopening trades on. Caesars moving. Live Nation, Hilton, MGM, Disney even up on the day. So a lot of areas where you can see some strength. Let's take a look at the sectors analysis here. From the open, leading us is communication services. From the open, energy, and then consumer cyclical. So those are the ones that you're seeing right now. The consumer cyclicals and the industrials are the ones that stand out to me the most, just because of the type of day that we're having. All right, I'll go back to Zunaid and Merck, and you can talk about that, Zunaid.
Yeah, the Merck trade was, again, it was $83 calls that I went ahead and took just because it was breaking out of that $82 level, and it hit a high of 84. I exited half the YOLOs at about $2, and the other half, I'm going to, again, risk all of it. I do expect it to kind of go at least to about 85 or so. If you'll go ahead and look at the daily here in a second. I believe this might be, nope. So yeah, you can see you've got a bit of resistance here at that $84 level. But once we clear that, hopefully it'll be on its way to 86 and then 88. So plenty of room to go. It's a matter of, will it get there today? I don't know. So if you want to play it a little bit safer on a dip, you can go ahead and grab next week's if you'd like. But I am going to chart out the first 15 minutes when we close the first 15 minutes here in about 7 minutes or so to kind of get a range of where it is. And then I'll play the breakout range of that as well. In terms of AMD, I have another alert set here on the bottom, about $100.50 or so. If it gets around that area, I will start to nibble at it. And then when it gets to 100, I will go ahead and get a full size for a swing with a stop loss right below. The $100 level is just going to be key. If I get even like a 60-cent bounce off of $100, I'm going to go ahead and sell that.
Long here, long Fubo, guys. Just want to interrupt here. You can finish up, Zunaid, but just want to let everybody know I'm long Fubo.
Let's see. Let's take a look at Fubo. Are you grabbing commons? You're grabbing options. What are you doing?
Commons, man. Commons. You know how I suck at my option plays, but I'm taking it right here at the VWAP. 24.15 is my entry here. I would stop out at 23.90s. Okay, so looking for it to get right back up towards that 24.29 and then continue its move back up here. We'll see what happens with this one. This is Fubo. It does have about a 10-cent range on the bid and ask. So just be careful with that. Just want to make everyone aware of that.
Sure. Profit target and stop loss?
So stop loss 23.90. Profit target is going to be above 24.50.
Okay, I got you. So you got a pretty simple
close
stop loss right here.
Pretty,
yeah, kind of tight.
Pretty simple, pretty tight.
Gotcha.
If it comes up, we want it to. If it creates 3 bottoms, look right here, and then just comes up through it. Let it go.
I'm gonna go ahead and set an alert here for SPY. If it gets around this area, I will go ahead and buy some SPY calls. If it breaks below it, that level being about 429 area, breaks below, I'm going to go ahead and get puts. If it kind of stabilizes around that area, I will grab calls for a bounce there. Let's see what else is going on. AMC was great.
PROG.
PROG
looks like it's trying to snap the 196 level. This is just one of those little micro cap trades. I had Fubo up.
You're good.
Talking about it. PROG, there's a huge seller at 196. I'm in at 195. There we go on the snap. So a little bit of a push here. I'm wondering, part of me wonders if we actually go for that pre-market high at 245. Seems a little rich from where we're at now. So I think what I'll probably do, we get another couple of cents here. I'll probably just close this, book some gains, and then see if we actually reset up another huge block here, stock at $2. And they're chomping it. They're taking it. There it goes right through two. We're pushing back up here. All right. There we go. We'll take that. We'll take that. My friend. All right.
So you already out?
Yeah. So I basically just scalped this for 5 or 6 cents. I mean, what I'm trying to do. So let me give you a little bit of strategy on what I'm trying to do here.
Hit me.
First of all, I pulled up the wrong. I don't have ProLink. So, okay. So one of the things that I'm trying to do here is I think at some point today,
I can pull it up if you want me to, but yeah.
I think at some point today, we take out 245. I don't know if we do it right here. And one of the big things that I don't want to do is I don't want to load up early and then have the position come back in against me and wondering, what am I going to do? So right here, I saw an opportunity to scalp off the 195 level through 2. I actually didn't get as great of a fill on my exit. I would have liked 203, 204. I think I got it at 201. But now I've built up a little bit of profit on this. It's only about $100 worth of profit, but now I'm going to be able to increase my stop because I'm kind of already working with house money here. So I want this to set up and make a move towards 245 and snap that high. To me, that's where the big trade is. This is just a little feeder trade to kind of get my feet wet in it. Looking at the chart here, I really want us to take out 207, 210 area. That area in there is probably going to be key for this moving higher. I already saw 2 huge sellers, one at 2 and one at 203 here. So we're going to see how this moves throughout the rest of the day.
I like it. Yeah, it's kind of battling that $2 area, and it's looking to break above it. It already is, and kind of continue higher. I like it.
And as Saul was saying, the volume is very strong. Saul, that's what alerted me to this. When Spencer asked Zunaid earlier, hey, what's Pal Talk? I have no idea. I have no idea what Progenity is here. My scanner alerted me to this. There's incredible volume, and we've already put in a pretty big pre-market high. Here we are now at 205. So it does look like we're moving on up here. We'll see where we can go with this one.
All right, so CCL setting up here for a VWAP bounce play. I just want to call it out. I've been waiting for the pullback to the VWAP. Now you're getting it. One of the things is you got a double low there. So that's another area where you can start trying to maybe attack right at the VWAP, and you can hold right underneath that to the next low, which would be about 2606. So what I like about this is the risk gets tighter because you have multiple lows in the same area. I'd be looking for CCL to get right back up there towards 2650, and then look for volume to get in for an extension towards 27. But I do like that move there. BTCM, you guys know that this was one that I'm looking for it to reverse here. Now it's coming towards the 15-minute support. Let's see if it gets that strong move up through 9.
Michael Montero is asking in the chat, does Benzinga do this live trading every day? This is awesome. Michael, thank you for the kind words. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. The reality is for us to do this every day, we need a massive influx of likes and subscribes. That's why we ask for this all the time. You got traders up here wanting to trade every day, and our path forward for doing that is likes and subscribe. So I hate to be cheesy about it, but that's the reality here. Yes, we are traders. We are trading every day. We want to do it live with you. Smash that like button.
Hell yeah, I see it going up there. We're at 192. Let's get it on up there towards 300 today. If we get 300 today, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna have to call David Green that he's gonna have to step off there on Monday, and we'll be on Monday. But we need 300 likes today, guys.
Shout out to David Green and Peter, by the way. Great guys.
Definitely. I mean, when you talk about experience, there's a reason why we bring on DG.
Yep.
There's a reason why we go to literally the market in New York. In the New York Stock Exchange is half the time what you see in the background when Peter's on. So definitely. Let's keep going, guys. If you guys see a stock that's moving big, let us know in the chat, and we'll take a look at it. I know today's a little bit more of a moving type of day, but we'll take a look for sure.
Let me just add something to PROG here. So this is exact. Now that you're seeing this little pullback to 2, this is exactly why I wanted to take gains. I don't think that this stock is necessarily going to go from the 195 2 break up to 245. I'm in there with a little bit of profit. I wanted to take some gains and kind of wait to pull back out. Now we're seeing it, right? So what I want to see is I want to see this set up for a next move higher. A little bit of consolidation here around the 2 level would be very, very helpful. If we then break it and we see some of this volume we saw earlier pour back into this name, we'll be set up for a second trade of this on the day. So how's Coinbase doing? I see in the chat here, Coin is up 2.5% today. Sure is. This is moving with Bitcoin, although it really hasn't moved off the open. In fact, looking at the, we're definitely sinking out of the open here. Dow was up 260 earlier. We're up 127 now. It dawned on me while we were talking about this. Merck is in the Dow. So Merck is one of the stocks that's helped pushing the Dow up today.
It is true.
So if this turns around, here we are at Merck, we're at about $80.90. If this turns around and sinks today, that could absolutely bring your Dow back down. I guess we should also take a look at the Treasury yield, right? 10-year here, 10 years down a little bit, 1.48%. So 10-year looks like it's doing all right.
We'll see how we get in.
We got the 15 minutes almost in, by the way.
Yep. Thank you, Zunaid. So at least for now, you guys can hate on me on CEI, but I don't think no one's paying attention to that stock today. That's what happens. That's what I thought. I thought the attention would go away.
I was completely with you. I was.
That's what I think. Sometimes when it's just a hype stock and it's been moving, the market's been going down. There's a lot of other stocks on people's radars today than just CEI. I think yesterday it was more like CEI was so prominent that you had to take a look at it.
Yeah, well, again, that's the volume, right? So when the volume is that tremendous, you're going to have moves in that name. It doesn't matter if it's being promoted on Twitter or anything like that. There's going to be some huge moves in that name. Volume today so far looks like it's drying up. And lo and behold, we see the stock moving lower. Will this stay? Can't tell you. To me, though, I'm looking for something else. Mitch, I'm completely with you on this one. If they're going to make fun of us, they're going to make fun of us together.
Don't worry. They'll make fun of me because I might get stopped out here in Fubo. I'm really, really close to it. It's just the spread is between my stop out, which is Fubo. But we'll see what happens in that one. PROG still looks good.
It popped. It went off that consolidation level we were just talking about. Now it's moving up. We had 215 on the high print there. I think I got. So yeah, this thing definitely there's gonna be more than one opportunity in this. There's gonna be more than one opportunity in this. Oh, Andrew Labos just showed up. Oh my gosh, there's about to be a party up in here.
They're bringing out the big guns for this one.
Bringing out the big guns.
Labos is the type of guy that you invite to the bachelor party.
Is that right?
Labos is the type of guy that shows up to the bachelor party and cleans everyone out when they start playing cards.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the MRK trade here.
Another huge block at 215 on PROG. Huge block of stock there. They're taking it. Gone.
CCL is cracking down to the support. UAL coming back down to the VWAP there. The one that surprised me that haven't been doing that well, and I need to take a look at maybe BTBT, but the crypto stocks haven't been doing that well at the open here. I thought they'd have a better open. Well, we saw that chart earlier.
Yeah, crypto is slowly kind of drifting back down. Obviously this is a huge pop. We popped off the 45K level as high as 48,190. We're back at about 47,395 on the Bitcoin futures. I think some of the real fireworks might happen over the weekend. We've talked about it quite a bit. There's a lot of action in the Bitcoin names over the weekend. So let's see where we actually go. I'm not necessarily concerned about a drift back down while the regular market is open.
All right, guys. Well, Fubo's starting to recover here. For a day trade, sometimes I would take an ad right here at this point because I know my out right now. At the end of the day, I know my out here. But what I would do here at this point is not increase the risk. For a beginner trader, I would say you just stay to what you originally planned. But sometimes day traders, what they'll do is, since they have more purchasing power, right, they can bring their average down. It's still going to cost them a day trade. They already know that much. But sometimes what they'll do is they'll average down and hold to a tighter stop. So it all depends on your style of trading at this point. But I just want to call out the different styles. And that's why it's always about your personality and what fits you as a trader. Some people like to go risk on at this point. Some people like to just say, I'm going to stick to my original plan here. Let me just hands off and let the trade work itself out.
If you wanted to go short AMD, you got a good risk reward opportunity, at least here, as it's flirting with the VWAP. Your stop loss would be right above 102. So you're looking about a risk of 20 to 30 cents. And your profit taking target would be around 102.80. So it's a good risk reward there if that's the route you want it to go. You can see with my screen, the red lines, that's your 15-minute, right? So 3 candles, 5 minutes each. That's your high, that's your low. So if you wanted to go long, you would have gone kind of long here and stop loss right below. So for now, that's what I'm keeping an eye on to see what happens within this 15 minutes. And if it breaks out either way, let's go ahead and kind of do a similar thing with SPY. Did not take this one here just yet. Maybe I could, though, if I believe the market's going to go a little bit higher. This is a good risk reward. You grab it here. It goes right below 429. You go ahead and dip out of it. Matter of fact, that's what I'm going to do. Let me see if I can. It's one of those where the risk reward is just great for me. So I just went ahead and grabbed SPY calls at the 430s for $1.35. Not saying it's going to work out, but I just want you guys to see the risk reward opportunity here. If it dips below it and it stays here for a sec, I'm going to go ahead and get out, and I'm going to lose about maybe 30, 40 cents. But if it at least rallies a little bit back to VWAP, I'm going to go ahead and take some profits and then hope for a continuation to 432. Again, it's all about risk reward.
Zunaid, is there any scenario in this setup where you add to this position?
So right here is where I've got one piece, right? If it breaks above VWAP and it consolidates and it breaks that consolidation, then yes, I'm adding. Absolutely. Cool. But this is where it's kind of like, say, for example, if 10 contracts is my normal, I'm going to go ahead and grab about 3 right here. Gotcha. And if it breaks, cool, I'm out. If it continues here, I'm going to see what happens. I'll probably, from those 3 contracts, I'm selling 1. I'll wait for a consolidation, break above it. I'll go ahead and grab maybe about 5 more and then kind of ride it all the way up there.
Much appreciate the insight.
Absolutely, man. And so here's the thing, right? We talked about AMD. Kind of slowly just, the biggest, I know maybe we have a lot of new traders here, and I'll tell you this. One of the best things and the simplest things that helped me was looking at anything but the 1-minute chart, because you get shaken out very easily, right? So this kind of gives you a calmness of, hey, it's working, the trade is working, whatever. If I go to a 1 minute, I could be like right here, and I just see these red candles, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm out. Or you bought right here, and you see this one red candle, and you freak out, and you're out. So it's kind of like it's easier to get shaken out if you're on the 1 minute. So once you go to the 5 and 10 are my favorite, and then you go to the hourly. But just a little tip there for folks that might be starting out. It's okay. Don't get shaken out of a contract or an idea when you were planning on holding it for 2 weeks just because you see one red candle on the 1 minute chart. Like, it's fine. It's okay. You'll be all right. Unless, you've got the whole house on it, which why are you doing that in the first place? But, yeah, let's see. Still in the SPY trade, obviously. Let's see what happens.
Real quick, thumbs up runner, Sean from Happy Hour. What's going on, Sean? Thanks for joining us today. Did you hear the rumor of an NFT dividend for GameStop? No, I haven't. I have not heard. To be quite honest with you, I have not been following a lot of the GameStop fiasco recently. So if there's more stuff in there, Mitch, Zunaid, are you guys aware of what Sean is mentioning?
I'm not, but real quick, AFRM here is at that VWAP area. I'm going to go ahead and take, let me see if I can find a good one. I'll take a 116 put here. Stop loss will be right above VWAP. So I just got filled on that put at $1.50. Above it, like right if it breaks right here about the 117 area, I'm going to go ahead and get out. And I'm risking probably about 50 cents or so. So about 33% is what I'd be risking. Just FYI on that.
And real quick, shout out to Saul. Saul called a prog reload pretty much right there. PROG came back in towards 2, dipped beneath it to about 197, but kind of came back. You called that right as it was at that reload spot. We're pushing back up off that now, bid under it at 206.
All right, guys, I want to point out the SPY here. 5-minute support that I called out at 429.14 is holding really well. Right now, that's the level for me to close on this 5-minute. If this candle can close green, then I'd be looking for the SPY to reverse. If this candle closes red underneath that 429.14, then I'd be looking for the next level down. We'll see what happens in the SPY.
By the way, on that AFRM short, I'm going to go ahead and have a profit taking limit of about 190 or so. And again, that SPY trade that we did take, still doing okay so far. And let's take a look at AMD perking up above VWAP at the moment. Staying patient with it. Not going to try to take the whole profits here. Probably going to take some right around this 102.20 area if it gets there. But again, if you wanted to go short, your stop would be right above it if that's the idea you want it to go. And that's the best thing about it is you want to kind of be able to be like, hey, if I went long here, what am I looking at? If I went short here, what am I looking at? It's all about risk reward. It's okay if you're wrong. Just make sure you're not risking more than you're trying to win, and you'll be all right.
And another great call by Preview there. TMC moving. TMC trying to take out a spot. It looks like 530, a little bit of size there. That's going to be your spot on TMC. Good call. Still looking around here, too. Interestingly, UVXY hitting my scanner now. So it looks like the VIX bottom was the opening print. We've been up on the VIX since then. So we'll see if there's an opportunity here.
Yeah, you've got Prog flirting with that $2 area there.
Yep, and we got the SPY pulling back here. So, keep in mind where your indices are when you're doing this. You want to find relative strength.
All right, I'm going to go through the chat for a little bit here and knock out some from the chat. We're talking SPWR in the chat. Look at that one, Sun Power. Nice little pullback, right back up there through the highs. You guys know Sun Power was on my list this morning. Run is another one that I'm looking for. So this is setting up nice. I like that play. I can use the low of 44.60 right now, try to get it back above 45.40. I actually like this play. Let me see if I can get some shares of this one. I would look for it to come back down closer towards 44.65 and then hold towards that, probably that 44.50 would be my stop out. The low right now is that 44.62 where you got the support building up right here. Let's see if it holds that one more time, closes above, and then we could take the trade. All right. In the chat, also Lucid was mentioned. It's having a really, really tough day. You know how Lucid had a really good day when the market was going down? Now the market is essentially was looked to the upside, and you're getting a really tough day in Lucid. Look how it's starting to break through the lows. Really, to me, it's all about 24. If it gets through 24, watch out. But if it holds that and closes back above 25, then you still got that pattern that it's kind of stuck in.
And looking at the daily chart, I mean, this thing looks like it can't really make up its mind, right? It's going back and forth right around that 24 level that you called out. So, yeah, just be careful, be tactical. You're going to play something like that. Be tactical for sure.
If you took that AFR,
stopped out in Fubo. Let me just make sure here. I think I did though.
What's up, Zunaid?
I was going to say, if you took that AFRM put, you're up about 20-25 cents or so. Just depends on your account size, and if that's profitable for you, go ahead and take it. My buy price was 150. The bid is 170, so you easily can get 20 cents. And now the bid's at 75, so you get 25 cents there on AFRM. It's tricky because I'm short AFRM and I'm long the SPY, so it's kind of like what am I really rooting for here type situation. But so far, as you see SPY continuing to try to break that 429, but having a bit of a tough time, which I'm perfectly okay with here. But with AFRM down about 2%, I'm okay with the market rallying a little bit, and AFRM not really participating in that rally is totally okay. And AMD, right? What did we say? We said you can take a short at VWAP and your stop loss would be right above 102. It kind of peaked its head by about 3 cents, but then it came right back down. So it's all about that risk reward. About here, you're still probably, if you took those contracts, I would imagine you're like maybe 5-10% in the green, especially, well, that's if you took it around VWAP. If you took it around 102, I mean, you're probably sitting about 30-40% in the green there, but something to kind of keep an eye on with AMD. Let's go back to SPY here. Still flirting with that 129. I know this is going to flush on me, but as long as
bouncing off
Grim
that
goes, it'd be all right.
AEZS is moving. It looks like you might have another opportunity here if this curls back up. Looks like we did take out the after hours high yesterday. I think the day high here is going to be 97. I think if that falls, you might get another pop there. PROG holding above that $2 level, kind of building here. Definitely want to see that. If that consolidates and rounds back up towards that 220 level, that's going to be my entry trigger on a 220 snap. 220 snap, I think, puts us in play for 245. So that's the way I'm going to approach that in terms of an actual trading plan. Just kind of looking around here, CEI down 17%. It is bouncing off that 3 level. We'll see how long that holds for here.
And that $3 level, we talked about it at the top of the show, right? That psychological level for that bounce. So hopefully if you guys listen and that's your type of stock, you went ahead and got it. Like I told, I think it was Mitch, I'm not trying to put grandma's money in it. I just want to go ahead and get a scalp of 10-20 cents. That's exactly what you have here. SPY still kind of dancing around with 429, trying to make up its mind.
All right, guys, I want to show you guys a setup here in Jetblue. This is a nice setup. Look at this nice little flag pennant. Moves around the VWAP. That's what I like to see, guys. So now that you broke down below VWAP twice, right? There's 2 breakdowns below VWAP. You just want to see it come back above VWAP and then hold if it comes anywhere near that VWAP, because now you could hold right here to 1586. And that's what I would be looking in. I'd be looking for the 16 pop going into, let's say, 1610. These are the trades that I used to take my 1,000 shares and just do a little swing, right? Because it's really well set up. And so I would have got in there maybe 1595s, risking 1590s, looking for the pop through 16 to 1610. And so right now it's setting up, and I would love to see the level 2 right now, but I don't have it set up on my right-hand side here, so I can't give it to you. But I'm pretty sure you'll see some orders stacked up there at 16. And then that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for it to flow through and then just quickly give us a pop into 1610. It'd be a nice little trade.
All right. My SPY trade, I went ahead and took a little bit off here at about 80 cents. So half of it is out at 80 cents. The rest, I'm going to wait for it to kind of continue the ride. But you can see here, right? This was where I was looking at for a break below is where I knew I would go ahead and cut it, but it was flirting around with it, stayed with it, didn't panic. And now I'm able to take that profit. And my next profit target would be around 430.80 area. Will be where I take another half and then continue riding along with it as well. My AFRM trade is now down about 10 cents. So again, it was up about 25-30 cents. And it's tricky when you're short something, but you're long the SPY as well. It gets a little tricky. You have to thread the needle very perfectly.
Yeah, well, this is why we were saying that these choppy markets are tough to trade. I mean, right? We were down. We were down in the overnight futures. We woke up to being green. NAS was just looking ugly not long ago, and now it looks like we're turning back up. So this back and forth is one of the things that makes it difficult. Zunaid, I really like the way that you're attacking this, though. Very
I appreciate it. Now, this AFRM trade, I might get out of it as soon as it breaks that 117.50 area. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and grab one more contract here because of the risk reward, right? To me, if it breaks above it, cool. I'm losing about maybe 20 cents. But if it does actually come on down, I'm gaining about 80 to 90 cents. I won't be upset if I lose this trade, especially on that second ad of the put, which I got filled at, by the way, at 125, or excuse me, 130. So for me, you know, it's worth the risk reward. AMD is still trying to figure out what to do around that area. Over 102 is where longs want it. Rejection of that is where you want to see it if you're short.
A little annoyed there. I didn't get a fill there in BTCM, but I mean, it's a lower trade, so I kind of understand why I didn't get the fill. But looking for this to pop here, to do the VWAP, and then start really roaring, like that reversal. This is what you call, I mean, you could call it. It's two patterns there. You could do it on the 1 minute reversal whenever you see kind of this bottoming action for about 15 minutes. Or you can look at the 5 minute, and they call it the 5 minute reversal, 3 blocks closing all around the same spot. And then you use that as the low, and you look for the reversal. A lot of people use these on the 5 minutes, especially towards the open, the first like 15 minutes, and they're looking for the reversal of the SPY with the move. And that's what gives you that's what gives you the trigger. Also, you want to see the SPY or the overall market turn in that direction. Also, kind of do the similar move. You see how it's a similar setup? BTCM, SPY, similar bottoming action, and they scoop it up. I did try to get in this one at 860s, but it jumped up the ask to 865, and I didn't change my order there. We'll see what happens on this one. All right, guys, let's go ahead and start wrapping up. We're going to go ahead and bring on Brett Simba. If you guys want to stick around, Ryan and Zunaid, you guys are more than welcome to stick around. But if you guys want to also go ahead and wrap up, that's by all means up to you guys. I know today is a busy day, and we'll probably still be looking at the markets all day long. It's going to be that type of day. So you guys in the chat, give us some likes. Looks like we were at 250 likes. We need to get to 300. Let's go, guys. Thumbs up. Let's keep it going.
I'll go ahead and hang out while you introduce him. If I could get my chart back up for about 10 seconds here.
Let's do it.
Yeah, Brett's the man. I want to see him.
Yeah, I'm down to hang out here.
Right here after this.
So here's the thing. This was my ad right here, right? At 117.50. Literally called it out. Told you guys I got in at 135. Now the ask is at 170. And that's all about the risk reward. Was it going to work out? I don't know. I'm not here to kind of, tell you what all be all type thing, but it's all about risk reward. Got the put there because that was right above it was where I was going to cut it short, and it flushed down for $1 move. And that's exactly how you want to play it. But I just wanted to point that out in terms of risk reward and not panicking just because you're close to getting stopped out.
A little shout out to one of my longer term plays, ONDS. If you want to pull that up, Zunaid, ONDS. This is a automated drone play that I'm in. I really like this long term. It's multiple year play for me, but it's having a really nice day today. Just had
it's testing this area right here. Yeah.
Just had an awesome investor presentation. I encourage everyone to check this company out. I think we're quite early here. I like this for a 18-month or longer hold, but having a nice day. Nice day today. Just popped on some volume.
Nice. I like it. By the way, on that ad that I had on AFRM, I just went ahead and got out of that ad at 165. So that second ad was profitable.
Turning back up here.
Let's take a look.
Back up too.
Did it go to 80s? No, it didn't. No wonder I didn't get the because I had an alert set around $80, but I did not get it. Yeah, for me, I'm not touching Merck besides the Yolo that I had on it. Again, I had taken profits on it. So it can do what it needs to do. It's fine. Let me go ahead and take it. By the way, is Brett here?
Yeah, well, go ahead and I'll bring him on. I was letting you guys finish up there. Let's go ahead.
No, I just wanted to. No,
we're waiting
let's
for
hang
Brett.
out with them.
Come on.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's bring him on here. The one, the only, the Simba trades.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, what's up, man?
Brett?
I don't know if I should pick you up, put you off the Pride Rock, but I mean, let's get it started.
Yeah,
First of all, we want to know a little bit more about your style. Are you more of a day trader, swing trader, so everybody else can know out there? And then, of course, let us know what you looked at today. If you took any trades, what happened today?
Yeah, so mostly I trade options for the most part. I'd say about 90% of my trades. Some of them I'll do shares. It depends if it's it's a big mover. If we get some bio names or every now and then I'll do a meme stock rally or something like that. But for the most part, just playing big caps, options, day trades. For the most part, I'd say I probably do 75% day trades, and then the rest swings or spreads, spread swings. And yeah, pretty much that's, I guess, my style for the most part. But we have a bunch of guys in our group. They have all different styles. Most of the other guys do a bunch of swings. So they've been very picky, you know, in this market, obviously a little hard to swing lately. But yeah, today haven't really taken too many trades. We had a Moderna put, one of our admin signal, which is going pretty good. Moderna got shot down hard. I guess it was on that Vax news, I think came out of New York or something. They were saying that they're not requiring it, or they reversed the news about requiring all the healthcare workers to have it. I'm not too sure. I didn't see the headline, but Moderna's getting hit pretty hard, down 13% right now. Is down like 5% at the open. We're targeting around 320. One of my guys, Jake, he does a lot of our webinars as well. He entered a put literally about 5 or 10 minutes after the open, so that's going pretty good. Can I share screen here?
Yeah, let's share the screen. Who's getting the chart up? You got your own charts. Let's do that.
Yeah. Moderna. Okay. Yeah. So Moderna right here. So literally huge dump at the open. Now, first thing that we pretty much, and it's still going. Its target's 320, so we'll see if it hits. But on you know, these gap downs, right? A lot of people think you know, you try to fill the gap. Obviously, we opened up right here around 360, 359, right? So we have this little chop block here, little flag that we had before we had our huge run up to all-time highs. But there's no real support on this name, right? There's not really any real support once you broke down this 360 level. So usually, especially on a day like today, right, where pretty much bears have been in control, whenever we get a breakdown, there's usually going to be some continued movement if you don't see that initial pop in the morning. So, you know, right away in the morning, this is the 5-minute now, literally no sign of bull pressure at all, right? We get an immediate move down. There was a little bit of a move back up, and actually I think this is exactly where he signaled it at too. Let me see real quick. Yeah, 325 put. It was 135 bucks at 950. I can pull that up in a sec, but yeah, so literally right at the end of this candle, right, we get a little bit of a retest, dump back down, and now I think that contract's going for, let's see, 380. Yeah, right now. So that was a pretty good one, 200% gain in a few minutes there. But right now, to be honest, I'm not in really anything. I was in a bunch of shorts last week, well, the week before rather. And then last week got shaken out of some, but we have this overall long channel here, right? On the Qs, yeah. NASDAQ. So really, this is what I was, I shorted up here 2 weeks ago. I think I was on the show too. I was talking to you guys about it with, you know, Powell talking about tapering early, raising rates, etc., right? And we got that huge move down. Well, we got a nice move down, right? We had a little bit of a consolidation, and then we had that huge dump 2 weeks ago, followed up by another huge dump Monday. And then we kind of just rallied all week, right, last week. But to be honest, all we did was retest these lows that we had the week before. And then on, what was this, Friday? Yeah, on Monday, rather, we had a little bit of a move up, and then we just have been selling off all week. So what I'm looking for right now is this long-term channel right now to pretty much hit, you know, right around 475, 475 or so. If not, you know, we could get an even deeper move. And, you know, it's quite possible because there is no true support once you break this trend line until we get back to, you know, around this 14K level. And that would be the 200-day moving average for the NASDAQ. So, you know, these tech names are getting hit hard. A lot of them, they're really good shorts still. You know, they've pretty much all pumped back up the past couple weeks to basically their previous resistance before all-time highs on most of them. A lot of them, like Amazon, for instance, move back up. Short golden pocket here. This is I use fib retracements to find our golden pockets on the short side or long side, and then just continual move down. But you know, right now, kind of just watching because it's pretty choppy. You know, you'll get some confirmations to the upside a lot, like today, for instance, Amazon. You know, right away in the morning, switch to like the 2-minute or 3-minute chart, right? We break up. We break up fairly well. Some buying pressure comes in, and then we just reject yesterday's afternoon resistance. So, it's hard to trade this market right now. It's a short the rip instead of buy the dip. So, for most names, that's what we've been looking for, trying to buy some of these, support levels for those dead cat bounces, because they do happen quick, right? But you'll be able to capitalize more on these drifts throughout the entire day. So, to be honest, it's hard trading as an options trader in this market right now, because a lot of it is a slow drip, and your enemy, of course, is going to be theta, right? Time decay. So, personally, past week or two has been a little bit rough trying to find some good setups. But again, once you get out of these chop zones, and once you get into those real areas of support, we hit like that bottom trend line like I was going over on NQ, right? That's where we can find some really good either day trade or swing trade setups, really both. Because what we try to do is we'll use the daily chart or the 4-hour chart to find those levels, play a day trade off of those levels, because that's usually where we're going to find the big buyers stepping in, right? And then continually hold some runners as our swing. So we're kind of actively doing both at the same time. Pretty much every day trade, day trade that I try to take, I want to at least be able to like swing one or two, because that's how you're really able to capitalize, right? Those runners that, especially when you're playing options with strikes, 1, 2, 3 strikes, either near the money, in the money, or out of, near the money or out of the money. Because once you get to that intrinsic value, especially if you're playing these caps like Amazon, 1% move in the money, you're looking at $3K per contract at least. So that's really what our style has been for the most part lately. But again, not an easy market for option traders really lately. But you got to sell these contracts 20-30% real quick rip.
Yeah, I'm with you. Good to see you again, Brett. I'm with you there totally. And even while you were talking right there, it looked like the Qs and the SPY were starting to round back up. Apple had a rounding formation, and then bang, just instantly slammed back down.
Exactly.
So I mean, we're new lows here on the SPY.
Yeah. So I mean, to be honest, I wanted to come on here. I thought we'd have, we planned it a couple of days earlier in the week. I wanted to look for some decent setups, but we're in this real slow drip pretty much, or aggressive dumps really at times down. And, this isn't a time that I like to take too many trades. And the reason is because, again, when you have an aggressive sell off like this for days at a time, usually there is going to be some strong bounce, right? We don't seem to be getting that, but it's tough to continually short these lows without taking quick profits. So, again, the Moderna play is working out great right now, but for right now, just waiting kind of for that bottom trend line to set up before taking any trades, because I know that'll be the highest probability trade to take.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to play the hand you're dealt, right? You can't force the trade when it's just not there. That's a surefire way of failing. So, yeah, we're looking around here. We caught a couple here right out of the open. But, again, sometimes sitting on your hands is the right move. It's awesome that you have a short that's kind of making up for some of that stuff. They're really well done.
I like
so the short, we had a bunch of 10-15 puts, and to be honest, I got shook out of some of them on last week's pump. We got the news right of there was bad job numbers. So, I thought we'd continually rally. Powell seemed to have actually pumped the market at that point. But again, it just ended up being just a dead cat bounce. And, it's hard, those dead cat bounces, if they last 3-4 days, because at that point you're like, what should we be doing here with these shorts? Or if you're long and you get a drop, 3-4 days of a drip, same thing. You don't know if you want to hold on to that position or not. So it's a tough thing, but those would have been cashed right now.
I want to kind of blend what you talked about and what we often talk about here as well. Mitch, if we're able to have my chart up here, let me know.
What chart do you need?
Still with us? Yeah, let me go ahead and pull up the mRNA chart. Go ahead and go to the 1 minute, and let me see the VWAP on it.
Dumping even more right now. Yeah.
I want to see the VWAP if I can on that 1 minute. If you could zoom in.
So VWAP I've got is 345. Might be different from your broker. Remember, we had this issue with our VWAP studies being a little bit different.
Yeah, we did. But basically, what I wanted to point out was, the idea that Brett had or his partner had about the Moderna short. Great, right? You had the news in terms of MRK with the pill for COVID. You have, competition there. But say you missed it. Say you missed a flush and you wanted to get a nicer risk reward near that 350 area where it had a pop from 342, went all the way back up to around 350. 350, again, that psychological number, that's 1. 2, it's around VWAP right there. So that's where your perfect risk reward is. And I wish Mitch was here so we could see it because I have it perfectly labeled here. But that's where that perfect risk reward is, where it's like, cool, I'm going to go short around, 348 or so. If it goes to 351 or 352 and it closes above it in terms of the 5-minute candle or whatever, I'm going to go ahead and get out. It's okay to be wrong, because if you did that, now you got to enjoy the ride all the way down to 326 as we speak. And I know your partner has a target of about 320. So you're risking about maybe $4 to $5, but you're able to profit about, what is that? If I did my math here, 20 to 25 to $30 possible over here in this one, right? And then, so that's what I love about. So that's why when you mentioned Moderna, because we talked about it, but I was like, cool, let me see where I could have gotten in and with my style. So with your idea and my style and anyone else's style out there, you can profit just about any idea that's out there.
Yeah, those puts, those 325 puts, they were $135. They're going for 900 right now.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, and by the way, for the folks,
500, 600.
For the folks at home, the AFRM short the put that I had taken at $1.50 is now going for $2.45. I'm going to go ahead and close out of like 80% of them, and the rest I'm just going to wait. And again, it's the same thing though, right? It's the same strategy where it's like, hey, and we called it out for the folks that are watching, 117.50, which is around VWAP, and it was trying to poke its head above. Perfect risk reward. Grab your puts there. If it breaks and it heads to 118, get out. If it doesn't, enjoy the ride down. Same thing with AMD with the put side there. So AMD is about $1 away from $100. That's where you may want to think about going long, at least for a scalp around the $100 bounce. But what's your take, man, on like psychological numbers? Are you a fan of it? Do you trade based off of it, or do you kind of prefer not to? What's up, Mitch? Welcome back.
What's going on, guys?
Well, Brett, what do you think about like psychological numbers and stuff like that?
So same thing for the most part. You'll see a lot of these names bounce around, or either have a strong support or resistance around those psychological numbers, the hundreds, the 50s, etc. Right? Certain names 25s. If they're under a couple thousand. So, even Netflix sometimes usually will have like a $5 pin, every $5, $10 or so. So those levels are usually going to line up with your point of control, right? So I use VPVR to kind of see exactly where the highest number of shares are being traded at. And 9 times out of 10, you will find those pinned, around one of those levels. If I could pull up my chart here, if you don't mind.
Mitch, can we get Brett's chart?
And guys, real quick while you're loading that chart up, I mean, market is really turning ugly here. Everything's turned around. We're right across all the industries, and
let's go.
What I was saying earlier, right? I'm skeptical, and I think that we're going to close red today. Here we are. Nowhere near
so
close, but still.
Just going back to that Moderna trade, right? So like right around, you'll see. It's obviously going to be changing in a second, probably here if we get some more volume. But that exact level, right, was the highest number of shares traded today. It was 348.85, right, coming up to that 350 level where we were just talking about, right? So that's where you're going to have a strong resistance obviously come in. So if you see that painted here, you get a couple bearish candles, right? It looks like a bear flag coming in here, especially if you switch to like the 3-minute, right? We can see a bear flag forming, boom, dump down. Once you get that cross down here, right?
Yep.
Of this mini bear flag, right? You can continually ride puts. Another thing is holding under the 20 EMA on the 5-minute. Usually I use the 20 EMA. Didn't quite reach it, but usually we get like a flag up to that. And on trending days, for the most part, you can just ride that either up or down. Same thing. It kind of works hand in hand with, like you were saying, with VWAP as well. I use the 20 EMA mostly, but exactly what you were saying though. Pretty much those psychological levels always come into play as well, because a lot of times too, those are going to be the highest open interest contracts for options too, right? So that obviously has a big effect on the actual stock and where it's playing. You know, obviously there's going to be traders that have open, or institutions that have open, a lot of contracts at those particular strikes. So, you know, how do they hedge that? Obviously short shares or long shares from there too, right?
I love it. I love it. And Mitch, if you could bring my charts up real quick. But here it is. So we talked about that mRNA, and I'm just trying to show you guys. So there's that purple line, which is a VWAP, right? So you kind of right here around that 350, right about there. Go ahead and grab those puts right above it. If it closes, cool, get out. You were wrong. If you're not, you're kind of getting to enjoy this. This is where you take your first profit, because you can see that's where support was. So you're taking your first profit here, break below, you're enjoying the ride down to whatever profit targets you had. And I want to go ahead and pull it. AFRM, same kind of concept here. If we go ahead and pull up the 5-minute, stretch it a little bit. Same thing. Around that VWAP, go ahead and grab puts above that 117.50. If it closes, cool, you're wrong. If not, you get to enjoy this ride all the way. This is your first profit target, and the rest you get to enjoy on the way down as well. So AMB had a similar concept here, where it poked above, but if you were able to grab this short here, you can enjoy it all the way down as well. So it's all about that risk reward. On AMD, clearly it wasn't as clean, and you would have been wrong, but you're risking maybe about 20 cents or so, where your profit target's about $1, and it works out much, much better. So you got to keep that risk reward in mind.
For sure, yeah. Yeah, tech's just, I mean, it's going for that trend line almost right now. It looks like right now, you know. So that channel, that's been a channel that has been the channel that I pulled up before. This has been here since September of last year. So, you know, we're hitting that same exact, it's actually the same exact type of move. If you take a look, you know, at the indices, right? We get that September sell off right to the previous support, like larger support that we had, and then we usually see a rally. But again, you know, a lot of people are speculating, will we get that Santa rally this year or not? So we'll see what happens. It's kind of hard.
Nah, for sure. Are you in? I gotta ask you this because so many folks are in. Are you in CSI or CEI? Excuse me.
No, so I was in a little bit around, like, let me see on the chart. I think it was like the initial break, like 160. Yeah, right around that chop range there.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, and then I think I closed out. I literally closed out like 250 or something like that. A good trade, but like,
not bad.
Yeah. I didn't think we would smash through that. What's 280? Yeah, 280 resistance. And
yeah, dude, it's been on fire. I'm not gonna lie to you. For me, I'm not in the trade. For me, I wanted to get that dollar bounce on CEI, because that's the perfect dollar psychological, great support there. You're gonna have a bunch of buyers there if they believe in the idea, and you could have enjoyed the ride. But that's definitely one that I missed out on. But I am always able to play, like the $3 scalp. I was able to have, risking about 10 cents, getting 20 cents, things like that. I've been able to play it that way, but otherwise it's been a fun stock though.
Yeah, that one respects the levels pretty well.
It really does,
also,
man. It really does. Bounces off of VWAP, psychological numbers. It really does. You're right.
Yeah, yesterday I think it was was it yesterday or either yesterday or the day before, when that like fake report came out. I think it was 2 days ago. It was
where it went from like when it had a bunch of halt downs and stuff.
Yeah, you got it right there. Yeah, on the left. See, drop. Yeah, a huge drop right there, right? It only dropped right to the opening level. So if you had any orders set pretty much right there around that, if you just had an order set at the $3 level, you know, you're set. Cool. That was a nice move up, went up to 420 the next day.
And here's another thing. We talked about the open. So here's what I always do, right? I always have my limit orders or at least an alert set at the opening. And if I want to go short, if I'm thinking about it, at the close, and of course at the VWAP. So you can see right here around this little area was another one where it kind of bounced up. You got a little bit of it, and then it kind of came down. It's all about a scalp for me. I'm not looking to swing this one. And same thing here. You got it right here. You got your limit orders. You're able to enjoy the ride all the way up to VWAP, and you get out if you're done with the trade. So I like that you said that, because a lot of folks don't realize that previous close can act as support and resistance for so many of these tickers. Oh yeah,
I mean, you know, those levels that you're using when you're looking at the daily chart, right? And that's going to be your strongest levels of resistance and support pretty much off the daily. You know, especially on those names, you know, that are pumped on, you know, Zach Morris, all those guys, right? Pumping them. You want to set some of those limit orders low, because, you know, there's going to be someone trying to dump on the Twitter guys, right? On the small guys, or
Right.
or you know, you never know when they themselves are taking profit, etc. But you're going to get a strong reaction off of those dumps, like we just showed there.
And a quick tip, I mean, Zach says this himself, but for the folks that, you know, follow so many of these FinTwit folks, there will always be a pop when they go ahead and talk about a ticker that they're swinging, a new idea or whatever, but there will also be a drop. Not because a person who called it out is dumping on you. That necessarily is not the case, but it's folks that are scalping for those 2-3 cents that have algos on it, things like that, right? So it's like, wait for it, grab a little bit. So for example, if a trader wants to grab 1,000 shares overall for a full position, grab 300 right on that pop if you want. If you're scared of FOMO, whatever, grab 300, but then wait for that drop. Have your limit order set and get filled at a much, much better price. Like you're giving away money because more often than not, you're going to see that drop and you're going to be in the red. So might as well take advantage.
And another thing too, you know, I noticed with a lot of those names is, you know, don't be, it depends. If you're holding it long-term, it's different. But if you're trading it right, you can also buy into strength. And that's a thing that I do too. I like to buy into strength on confirmation more than buy the dip on a lot of these smaller cap names.
Yeah.
And that's only because usually when you get over that resistance, what are you going to have? Pretty much always a bigger short squeeze up, right? Because there's a reason that it was being held down at that level. So, you know, CEI is a great example. That level we were talking about, the $1.80 level or so, right? Yeah. Once we broke that, we surged right up to almost $5, right?
Man, look, I know you got flow back there. I'm not going to say the company's name, but you see anything juicy for us to take Yolos on?
I don't think there was really any too much.
Rough day. I mean, it
has been. It has been.
I got you guys. I got everybody up here. I mean, to be honest,
how many screens you got? How many screens you got?
I have a huge 48 inch, and then I have what do I have here? 232s on the side. But yeah, pretty much just I put everything up. Really, my 48 I use is like 3 screens.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So on that 48, awesome. Do you have it blocked off like 4 squares, kind of how we are right now?
Yeah. So exactly. Well, I do 3 actually across. And then I actually have another one, to be honest, that I'm going to be putting above it, and I'm just going to put SPY and QQQ probably up there. You know, just have the indices running. But yeah, for the most part, just kind of using my main monitor. I have my charts on the right, broker on the left. I have a little chat on the left, and then on the right, I have like Twitter, you know, and all that.
You know what they say: the more monitors you have, the more money you make.
That's a fact.
All right, don't want to break up the party here. I guess Zunaid and Brett need to get together after this and talk about their trading. Looks like they are going at it. I hope you guys enjoyed the talk between them. That's how we all learn from each other's experiences. Right. And like I always say, find the trader that trades like you, your personality. That's going to definitely help you because you'll be able to learn from them, see how they trade their process, and hopefully adapt it to your own out there. So definitely, guys, appreciate you coming on, Simba. We need to bring you back. Looks like we might even get into some sports betting action with you, I heard. Who knows?
Yeah.
So you guys stay tuned, guys. Definitely give us a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed this live trading with Benzinga, us bringing on Brett. Let us know in the comments after that you want to see more live trading with Benzinga. This is how we go ahead and make this show an every single day show. You guys give us a thumbs up, subscribe below, and this is going to do it for our content for the day. We'll be back later on in the day after our quarterly meeting. We need to go meetups to build for you guys out there, so do me the favor, hit the subscribe. Ryan right here, always building on Benzinga Pro. If you guys ever have a question, definitely shoot it to Ryan. And Zunaid right here, the man. If you guys ever want to be an affiliate and get to the next level, this is the guy to talk to right here. So definitely appreciate everybody coming on today. Anything you guys want to wrap up with? And then we'll get on out of here.
I'm just going to wrap up with just be careful. It's nasty out there. We've had some huge reversals. October is traditionally a volatile month. Just be careful. That's it.
For me, it's just risk reward. Know your risk reward. It's okay if you're wrong. Get out. Save your money. Live to play another day.
And Simba, anything else?
Yeah, same thing pretty much. I mean, just watch, again, those daily trend lines. I mean, those are going to be your strongest areas. You know, there's no problem in missing out. You know, if you miss some of these shorts the past week, it's fine. Don't chase them. Wait for that support level to come into play. So don't chase trades, wait patiently, and daily is going to be your bread and butter, I think, to use.
Mitch, I'll go ahead and do this real quick in the chat, and Neil might kill me for this, but I know yesterday we had a promo where you can get Benzinga Pro for $10 for 30 days. I don't know if that link still works, but I just posted it in the chat. If it works, great. You get Benzinga Pro for 30 days for just $10. You can cancel after that if you want to, because it'll renew at about $130, which is 25% off. But check it out for $10. You don't like it, cancel it. So hopefully Neil doesn't kill me for that. But if that works, if that link works, take advantage of it. If it doesn't, sorry.
We'll see what happens there, guys. Like always, stay at it. I'm going to go ahead. I'll announce I'm taking a swing for the weekend. I just got into CCL. I'll hold it towards 25.50. We'll see if it gets to hold that level. And if not, we'll let it go. We'll like always, I like how Simba takes that approach, that day trading into the swing trade approach. Yeah. It's one approach that I personally use myself, because some days I can't even be day trading all day long. But I definitely do think that those kind of moves, those 2-day moves where you're nailing that profit, it definitely gives you an advantage. And we'll talk about it right here on Live Trading. And we'll see you guys next time. Hit the subscribe. See you next time. Benzinga out.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
Kiana.
Fisher.
Joy.
Joe. Cards drawn are the past, ones to come are future.
And the best part? It's beatable.